everyone, today I have another quick quiet bodyweight workout for you that is downstairs neighbors approved. There will be no jumping around. Like a lot of the other home workouts I've posted recently, it uses that 30 seconds, 30 second, 30 second structure with a slight twist. We only have two circuits. One will be lower body focused, the second one will be upper body core focused, and they're a little longer. In each circuit, you have 4 exercises. You go through them 4 times, alternating right, left, right, left. Each exercise is done for 30 seconds and you do them back to back without resting. When you complete all 4, then you rest for 30 seconds before repeating the circuit. At the halfway point of the lower body circuit, I'm going to give you a full minute to recover because I don't want form to get sloppy in the second half. Because the second circuit isn't going to leave you quite as out of breath, I'm just going to stick with the 30 seconds of recovery. That being said, if you need longer, you just hit pause on this video. As with all workouts, you want to make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background for most videos because I want you to be able to listen to whatever you like. So if you don't have a playlist or a podcast or a TV show queued up, you might want to get that going. And with all that said, I'm going to give you a preview of the first 4 exercises so you know what to expect. When we rest in between circuits, I'll then give you a preview of the last 4 exercises. Okay, let's get to it. So we're going to start with our right foot as the target. We have a narrow squat pulse, and then you will hinge open into a sumo squat pulse. So you're going to mirror me. Our right foot stays planted. We just pivot off of that one, and it's your left foot that is going to step back and then forward. So let's find a narrow stance. If this bothers your knees, though, just do a normal stance, feet hips distance apart. Let's go. 1 pulse narrow, open up into sumo squat position, 1 pulse there. Notice I'm pumping my arms as I do this. Now, when you open up into that sumo squat, don't go so wide that your knees cave to the inside of your big toes. You're thinking of pushing those knees out so that they stay tracking in line with your middle toes. When you hear the beeps, we're going to a back lunge to a knee drive. Your right foot is still going to be planted. Okay, right foot stays planted, left foot steps back, low lunge, and then drive forward. As you come forward and stand, that left knee comes in towards your chest, engage through your abdominals. Now, I want you to get low in this lunge. So your left knee is coming just an inch or 2 above the floor, or maybe it even lightly taps it. The power is coming from your right heel. You are driving it into the floor as you stand. Think about squeezing your glutes at the top. When you hear the beeps, we're going to stay in this lunge position, but hinge forward with the torso. Reach and pull, so arms overhead, and then pull those elbows in as the knee comes forward. Do 2 of those, and then go into your deadlift. So it's quick, and then slow, controlled balance. When I do that deadlift hinge, I'm not locking out my right knee. It is staying soft, and I'm trying to keep my hips square. So think of pulling your left hip down in line with the right. Quick, slow, and controlled. When you're in the lunge doing the knee drives, it's important to keep that lean forward with the torso so that we target the back of the leg. We got a squat pulse to a calf raise coming up. So you drop down, pulse it, and then drive up explosive, rising up to the balls of your feet. I'm taking this hand position with hands kind of by my ears and elbows wide but slightly forward so that my rib cage doesn't puff open. If this arm position doesn't work for you, feel free to bring hands in front of your chest. Now, when you do the calf raise, I want you to notice, are your ankles kind of sickling and dumping outward? I don't want that to happen. If it is, you're coming up too high. Think about keeping weight in your big toe. 30 seconds to rest. So we're going to do that exact same series. This time the left leg will be the focus for those first 3 moves. Oh, Pickle's coming to say hello. Let's get ready for that narrow squat pulse to sumo squat, pivoting. Left foot stays planted, mirror me. Right foot's going to step open and back, opening up into a sumo squat. Pulse narrow, pulse wide. Remember, knees tracking in line with middle toes. So we got to work the abductors here, that outer hip, outer thigh, glutes area. When you hear those beeps, it's the back lunge to the knee drive. Left foot stays planted, right foot steps back. All right, let's go. Left foot planted, right foot steps back, low lunge, drive it forward. Back, low lunge, drive it forward. Your left knee is staying over that heel, and our torso is fairly upright when we're in that lunge, so it's going to be more of a quad focus. When we lean forward with the torso, it's more hamstrings, glutes focus. And again, I have this hand position with elbows wide but slightly forward. You don't need to do this hand position if it's uncomfortable or if you catch yourself pulling on your neck. All right, big lean forward, knee drive, reach and pull times 2. And then with control, hinge forward into that deadlift. Drive it, and control. So when you hinge forward in this deadlift, think one long line from the top of your head to that back right heel. So I'm not hunching forward, I'm maintaining a neutral spine. At the beeps, we got that squat pulse to the calf raise. All right, let's go. Both legs working together, feet about hips to shoulders distance apart. At the bottom, weight is in your heels. Give me a pulse and then drive it up. As you come up into that calf raise, I want you to think about squeezing your bum. Hips come forward. Abdominals are engaged. If the calf raise isn't working for you or you find yourself rolling out on those ankles, then just eliminate it, okay? Squat, pulse, and then stand. Final few seconds. And done. All right, so we're at the halfway point of this circuit. I'm going to give you a full 60 seconds to recover here because I don't want your form to get sloppy in the second half. That being said, if you're feeling good, you're ready to go, you can always fast forward and just take that 30-second break. Up to you. All right, let's get ready for that second half. We're going to be in that narrow squat. Right foot is going to stay planted. Your left foot will open up, so I want you to mirror me. Find that low squat position. Hips back, pulse, hinge open, pulse in the sumo squat position. So pivoting off that stationary right leg. Make these pulses powerful so you're not coming all the way up to a straight leg, but we got a little speed, a little oomph to it. Back lunge to knee drive is coming up next. Your right foot's going to stay planted. Your left foot will step back. All right, let's go. Elbows wide but slightly forward. Check in on your rib cage. If your elbows are so wide that your ribs are splayed open, bring them forward a little bit. We want to maintain that abdominal connection and that rib cage stability. Down low, drive up, squeeze into that right seat as you come to the top. When you hear those beeps, we're going to hinge forward. We stay in the lunge position with that right foot forward. Drive that left knee in twice, and then you hinge forward into that deadlift. Now, when I do the deadlift, I'm kind of airplaning my arms behind me. If you would rather keep the arms extended overhead or bring them into heart center, kind of like a prayer position, do what works for you. And if the balance is not happening for you, you can always just give me a staggered deadlift instead and keep that back foot on the floor lightly. Squat pulse to calf raise coming up when you hear those beeps. Okay, let's go. Feet hips to shoulders distance apart. Powerful squat at the bottom, and then as you come up, make it explosive, rising up onto the balls of your feet. When you lift the heels, though, think about keeping equal weight in your big toe and the corners of the balls of your feet, okay? So those kind of 3 main points of contact are grounding into the floor. And rest, 30 seconds here. Okay, we're just going through this circuit of exercises one final time. Left leg will be the focus, and then you get a whole new set of exercises. Let's find that narrow squat stance. Left foot's going to stay planted, mirror me. Right foot will open up. Narrow squat pulse, open up, sumo squat pulse. So the pulse is powerful, but you're not coming all the way up to straight legs. Final few seconds here. We got back lunge to knee drive up next. Left foot stays planted, right foot steps back. Let's go. Remember, I want you to come deep into that lunge, but keep your hips level to the floor. So sometimes when we come into a lunge, we just kind of dip down into that back right hip. Don't do that. Keep them level. Remember, as you come to the top, don't just think about bringing your back knee forward. Think of really squeezing into the left side glute so that you're stable at the top. All right, lean forward. We're coming into that reach and pull, and then going into that deadlift hinge. So it's quick, quick control. Your spine is long and neutral, which means your neck is long here. So especially when you go into that hinge, make sure you're not dipping the crown of your head down to the ground. There's a sort of a sensation of length across the back of your neck. Final exercise coming up, squat pulse to calf raise. Let's do it. Final 30 seconds in this circuit. You got it. Make these explosive. Down, big pulse, drive it up. Hips come forward, glutes squeeze, abdominals engage, heels lift. You have about 10 seconds to go. Keep it up. And rest. You have 60 seconds here. I'm going to show you our next 4 exercises. So this first time through, left side obliques are going to be the focus. That's because your right leg has a little bit of work to do in this first one. So very important, in your bear plank position, right foot stays on the floor. It's your left leg that is going to kick through and then up to the ceiling. So hover those knees a couple inches. Left leg kicks across, come back to that bear plank, and then your left leg kicks up to the ceiling, lifting your hips into that 3-legged down dog. So your left foot is never really touching the floor. This is a total body exercise. Your right leg is working. You're going to feel that right quad. Few more seconds here, and then you're going to meet me in a side plank. You're going to mirror me. Your left forearm comes down to the ground. Let's go. Left forearm down. Your right foot is staggered in front of that left leg. Now your right leg lifts up, it crunches in, it lowers down. So we're still working that top leg, but now we are really feeling the engagement of the bottom left side obliques here. Now this is a shoulder exercise as well. So without actually moving it, I want you to think of pulling that bottom left elbow towards your feet so we get a little bit of lat engagement here. When you hear those beeps, we're coming onto the back. We're going to do a single-sided bicycle crunch. So your right leg is going to stay extended at a hover. It's your left knee that crunches in, low, and then high. So you bring right elbow to left knee low, and then it's a bicycle crunch sit-up coming to balance just behind those sits bones. It's the same knee, twist to the same side, high and low. If this is a little too much, just do the low version, okay? And if you're feeling your low back peel up towards the ceiling, then I want you to lift that right leg a little higher. When you hear the beeps, we're going to flip over. We're coming into push-ups. They're tempo push-ups. So you're going to go down in 2 chunks, then a powerful press to the top. You lower down 1, lower down 2, press up explosive. Down, down, up. So I'm doing these push-ups from my knees, but if you want more of a challenge and you can do so without sacrificing proper form, I want you to do them from your feet. Make sure your low back isn't sinking to the floor and you're also not hanging your head, so think neutral spine. Woo, and rest. So you have 30 seconds to rest. We're going to do the same thing, hitting the other side in those first 3 exercises. So the bear plank kick through and then kick up is coming up. It's kind of like a break dancer kick through into a 3-legged dog. So tuck your toes under, your right leg kicks through, and then your right leg kicks up. We are keeping our left foot on the floor. When you go into that 3-legged dog, don't worry about how high up the leg gets. As you can see, I got pretty tight hammies, so it's not going too high to the air. Side plank coming up, get ready. Right forearm down, open up into your side plank. We're not sinking into that bottom shoulder. We're maintaining a stable shoulder position. That top left leg lifts up, it crunches in, it extends out straight, it taps down. I have my top arm to the ceiling. If you'd rather bend that elbow, bring it behind your head, that works too. When you hear the beeps, you're on your back. We got that bicycle crunch, same side, whole time. Okay, so now it is your left leg that's going to stay straight. It's your right knee that crunches in. So opposite left elbow to right knee, twist low, and then exhale, come to balance just behind those sits bones. So it's like a sit-up. Bicycle crunch low, bicycle crunch high. I want you twisting on the exhale. Push-ups, let's go. Down for 2, push-up powerful 1. So thinking about the breath on this one, I want you inhaling as you lower and then exhale as you press up so that we get that abdominal connection. That way we don't sink into the low back. Your glutes are squeezing here gently. And rest. Okay, we're at the halfway point. I'm just giving you 30 seconds here at the halfway point. If you need longer to recover, hit pause on the video. Okay, let's start getting ready for our 3rd time through the circuit. In that bear plank position, your right foot stays on the floor, your left leg kicks through and then up. Let's go. Kick it through, come back just to a hover, extend it up so that left leg's never really resting on the floor. When you do the kick through, you're bringing your butt pretty low to the floor. Maybe it even lightly taps it, but don't rest it down onto the ground. Active transition into that side plank. Coming up next, you're going to mirror me. Your left forearm comes down to the floor. Side plank. Stabilize through that bottom shoulder. You're broad across your collarbones. And that top leg lifts up and then it crunches in and then push the air away, extend it back out. Now I want you to check in on your hips here. Your top hip is stacked directly over your bottom hip. It's going to want to roll open. That's typically what happens. So you might need to take your top right hip and pull it forward a little bit. Bicycle crunch coming up. Okay, right leg stays straight. It's your left knee that crunches in. So it's right elbow to left knee low and then high. Again, I want you exhaling on the twist. Elbows are wide, but point them slightly forward so you should be able to see them in your peripheral vision. That way we don't puff open through the rib cage. Push-ups are coming up next. Let's go. Knees or feet. Your hands are under your shoulders. Neutral spine, and you maintain neutral spine as you lower down for 2. Powerful press up for 1. So I want to talk about where your elbows should be pointing. They are not pointing straight out to the sides. Think more of a 45-degree angle, so they go back a little bit. If you'd rather do a tricep push-up, kind of like a chaturanga in yoga, I am also fine with that. I just don't want them so wide that they're pointing straight east-west. Rest. 30 seconds here. We're going to go back to that circuit from the top one final time, and then you are done with this quick home workout. So we'll make our way into that bear plank position, hands stacked under shoulders, toes tucked, knees under hips. Your left foot's going to stay planted on the floor. It's your right leg that kicks through and then up. Right leg kicks through, right leg kicks up. So we're waking up right side of the body, but you're going to feel that left leg working here, especially the quad. In a few seconds, when you hear those beeps, seamless, active transition, right forearm down, mirror me, you're in a side plank, let's go. That top left leg lifts up, it crunches in. Push the airway, straighten it out, lower it back down. Remember, hips are stacked, one on top of the other, so don't roll open. Squeeze to the bottom right side body, maybe lift the hips up a smidge more. Don't sink into your bottom shoulder, we are stable in that shoulder girdle. When you hear the beeps, you are on your back. We got bicycle crunch. Okay, your left leg stays long. It's your right knee that's crunching in. So left elbow to right knee low, left elbow to right knee high. Modification here, just do the low ones. Don't come into the sit-up. Final exercise coming up. We got those push-ups, down for 2, up for 1. Let's go. Feet or knees. Final 30 seconds of this workout. Hands are under your shoulders, brought across the collarbones. Really push the floor away. Down, down, up. Now, when done correctly, this is really a total body exercise. So there is a gentle squeeze of the glutes and quads. Neck is long, so make sure you're not dipping your head to the floor. You're almost there. And done. Find a child's pose. Awesome job. Hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts here every Monday, so hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss one. I'll see you next week.